Hello, everyone, and now welcome to game two in this set. And wow, what a game one was. No, absolutely no spoilers there. Definitely go ahead and check it out. A real nail biter to the end. But let's see what's going to be happening here in game two. DS spawning on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Apollo's AK spawning on the bottom right. And this is game two in this two-game set. One of the reasons why I like the TESL, you always play two games, and you don't know if you win or lose the second game just because you can say, oh yeah, there's no video 3. There's no game 3, so I know who wins this game. Now, with that said, if you guys haven't watched game 1, well, watch it first. Watch the games in order. It's always better because I like to extrapolate strategies from what I saw in the previous games. AK is spawning on the bottom right-hand side. If I haven't mentioned so already, DS is spawning on the top left. And will DS make the right decision after he scouts out his opponent? We'll see if DS is going to be coming in with this one particular probe. And I gotta mention that DS did a really good job in game one, going for a Nexus first while minimizing any real damage or any real losses from a Zergling run by. And I had considered, or I had thought, that DS was in a little bit of trouble. He didn't have a Zealot. He didn't have anything really inside his base to stop Zerglings. There was a little bit of mining time loss, but beyond that, not much of anything else. The probe is just going to be on patrol here, looking to delay this hatchery as long as possible, as AK doing a good job being very smart to try and take down this probe. The probe could actually take some critical damage there, and it looks as though, oh, gonna be split, and there is the pylon. Oh, so annoying. As the drone goes, you know what? 2 can play at that game. I'm just going to go over here and build a hatchery at the bottom left. Oh, wait, what is this? He's now moving back. And, oh, the hatchery was canceled, and AK could build it. Yes, he does. So, I don't know what to make of that. That was more of a mind fake than anything else. It made it look like AK wanted to build the hatchery on the bottom left. DS perhaps thought it was safe to cancel the pylon, only to see that AK had brought in another drone from the far side. Now, why is that important to note? It's important to note because if AK had built a hatchery here on the bottom left corner of the map, then he would really be forced into 3 bases. Now, of course, he is going into 3 bases, and and now DS has spotted this. But it was still a nice maneuver in order to cause a little bit of confusion. At least confusion to the caster, as the caster was, I don't know. When did I start referring to myself in the third person? Alright, let's focus on what's going to be happening here. Zergling's now going to try to run by. Not going to be successful. You can see that there is really not that many probes over here at the base, as there is going to be now a probe joining in here. Is the Zealot? Oh, the probe now trying to make its way back inside. It is going to return cargo. Zealot's going to make its way over as well, and this has been a very good play by DS. It really looks as though DS knows how to handle this early Zergling aggression, even though he goes Nexus first. And I gotta feel that DS feels extremely comfortable in doing this. The Zerglings will all back away, and this has actually been a very strong opening for DS. As DS went Nexus first, he was able to delay these hatcheries, and he also hasn't lost any probes yet. At least I don't believe so. Well, AK did take down 2, but perhaps those were just simply in the center portion of the map. As we're now looking at the mothership core, doing a little bit of scouting. Stalker going after an Overlord here, and Overlords are extremely important at this stage in the game. This Overlord going to get shot, perhaps even taken down to 23, 9 hit points. There it goes. The Stalker with just enough range, and that is going to supply block AK for a little while longer. We are also now transitioning into a Stargate on the front door in order to get perhaps some oracles. All right, hearing some weird sounds coming in from my house. Anyways, Zealots and Stalkers coming back around. What's going to be going down here as a drone is picked off? You can see that AK does kind of regret placing down this third base. We are going to see a recall here, retrieving all of his units and then taking them back home. But AK is spread a little bit thin. He did do a good job defending this, and once these creep tumors are up, I think he should be rather fine. But DS has a small window of opportunity to really just take the momentum and run away with it. If he's, yes, chrono boosting out off of his Stargate, he's going to go after all of these overlords that are strategically placed around the map. And with these Void Rays, perhaps we'll be able to take down a good number of Roaches and Overlords. If he's able to battle it up in this particular fashion, he should be extremely strong. He also needs to train up a couple Phoenixes to make sure that if he needs to Graviton Beam a unit or two, he can easily do that. So far, one Void Ray. Second Void Ray now. Second Overlord will get taken down. One Void Ray here. Mothership Core just being brought over. A Void Ray going to get some easy kills, trying to pay for itself. Still has yet to pay for this one Void Ray yet, or one Stargate yet, as he is adding on to those numbers. AK currently supply block 67 over 62, and the Void Ray may just try and push in to take down this queen. Now, we have seen 4 to 6 Void Rays come in and quickly snipe down a hatchery. That does come as a bit of a surprise to most players, as the Void Rays have an extremely high DPS value against armored buildings and units. You can take a look at that there, 16 times 2, 32 damage a second. You multiply that by, say, 4 Void Rays, 4 to 5 Void Rays, and in 10 seconds, all of a sudden, a hatchery is gone in just a moment's notice. We are going to be taking a look here. There are still Zerglings running back and forth, but AK, it really feels like AK has really not let the reins off in terms of his economic game. If you take a look, 65 drones compared to 46 probes, and he's really been just droning pretty heavily at any point, and which I would say or assume is right now. AK is going to transition into producing units, and I don't know if DS has enough to stop this. DS's units, his composition of units is not good against what AK is training. And what AK is training is Hydralisk with muscular augments and also the Zerg missile attack. He'll be able to chase after Void Rays pretty easily and snipe them down. The Mothership Core may have a quick recall in once again. There are some force fields beautifully placed as the hallucinated Phoenix is there. They need to focus down all of these units, but AK, in realizing that this fight may already be brought to the bottom left, decided to hide all of his Hydralisk behind. And if AK had actually kept his Hydralisk over here, that would have been a very bad play for him. Instead, Rush actually walked into that trap, so to speak, as we're now seeing the Roaches and Hydralisk doing a bit of a push. The Zealots, without charge yet, cannot engage against those Hydralisk with extremely high DPS, dealing 12 damage per attack. There are some force fields. That last force field, not that good. And with that, those Roaches are able to escape. There's the recall heading back home, as DS is now sitting on a 50 supply disadvantage. This is what I was mentioning earlier. AK, just at the snap of a finger, able to completely train units. And once we saw that high unit count from AK, it feels like the floodgates are open. Zerg has enough of an economy to just open up the doors and take down everything. Coming back around, Void Rays still being added. Not really the unit of choice at this point. Even Oracles might be better since they are more effective against Hydralisk. That's really what we're seeing here, but the Void Rays are there to try and take down all of those Roaches. The problem, though, is that unless you're focus firing, the Void Rays are going to naturally go after the Hydralisk, while the Hydralisk are now destroying everything else. There's some force fields making it difficult. The Stargate will get taken down there as the Void Rays are trying to engage. This is still not a good fight, and AK is just knocking on this door. with just mass Roach Hydra. And AK feels extremely confident in this trade. No Photon. Oh, Photon Overcharge now coming in. But with this, the army is just going to try and trade into this position. He knows that he has a huge supply advantage and is now just pushing through. Psystorm finally being brought over. Roaches now finally being taken down by all of the Void Rays, but there's still a handful of Hydralisks enough to take down more of these units. You're going to see another base being taken, and DS doesn't have an army to really engage with. Meanwhile, AK is still reinforcing with more Roaches, and he can force DS to stay on these 2 bases as DS doesn't know he's going to be forced to stay on 2 bases, as a large army of Roaches and Hydralisks will be making their way over there. AK now sitting on his 4th base at the 9 o'clock position. Roaches trying to push their way in. Void Rays getting in some good trades, and AK has lost more now, but this is still not the state of the game that DS wants to be in. Here we go. There are the Roaches. There's the Hydralisk. We could just perhaps see the base being sniped over here at the right side. No, gonna try to snipe the main natural expansion instead. The Roaches. There's some Psystorms now coming in. Roaches now coming back around. The Zealot's gonna get sniped down a little bit more as the Mothership Core is still trying to engage. Roaches could come in with some easy attacks. There goes a Pylon. Void Rays now trying to come back in again. No Prismatic Alignment to focus down the rest of these Roaches here. Prismatic Alignment now taking down a couple of Void Rays, but the Roaches are still so beefy. Finally, Prismatic Alignment activated. The Roaches are going to be forced to retreat, but no, they are trying to engage against some Stalkers instead. And AK doesn't care that he is not trading efficiently. He knows that he has the base advantage. 56 versus 190. Yeah, this game is now over. I'm going to call it. AK going to go for another victory here and take the set 2-0 over DS. If you didn't watch game 1, shame on you. I still spoiled it for you anyways. And it is just a matter of time before DS realizes that he's lost the game. Alright, 150 supply disadvantage. This entire Roach Hydralisk army just sniping down Nexus after Nexus. Doesn't even have to focus onto these High Templars, and there's the GG. AK 2-0. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys are enjoying the TESL.